Hello and welcome to another daily devotion. As this week we talk about facing your giants, facing giant-sized issues in life. And many of you have heard of or worked on houses with Habitat for Humanity. What you might not know is the story of its founder, Millard Fuller. Grew up in Alabama, and when he went to school and then law school, by the time he was graduating his last year of law school, he was making $50,000 a year as a college student. So forget your ideas of notions of a poor college student, eating ramen noodles and trying to get by on weekend pizza. No, Fuller sold birthday cakes with his partner and trash can holders and wreaths and anything else he could find. He was a budding entrepreneur. And he became obsessed, according to his own story, his own autobiography, of making money. And it became a consuming thing to him, so much so that he and his wife, Linda, he bought her a great house. He bought her a Cadillac. He bought her everything she wanted, but he was never home because he was so invested into making money and, working 12, 14, 16-hour days. On the advice of a pastor friend, his wife moved out and went to New York City for a time. They separated, and he followed her, and they saw a show. And at the show, it was about a single mom, and the message of the show was, it's never too late to have the courage to change. And on the taxi drive home, Fuller said it was like a moment of light and inspiration from God saying, everything you're chasing, though it might be great in the eyes of the world, and you might be a success in everyone's eyes around you, everything you touch turns to gold, this is not success in the eyes of God. So Fuller and his wife, then Linda, decided to sell all they had, live in Coyanita Farms in Americus, Georgia. And Fuller remembers driving down the street and seeing all these impoverished families living in shacks and shanties. And he really felt that this is an overwhelming sense of poverty, that how could all these people live in such a worn down, leaky, just messes of hovels. And he said, God gave him this dream that there would be no more shacks, no more shanties. He went to churches with the idea, would they partner with him? And sadly, no denomination in the moment had the vision that Fuller did. So he ventured off on his own, created a not-for-profit Habitat for Humanity. And on the one hand, you could say that as you look at the great problem of homelessness, it still exists, of course. And most of us would say, almost like Jesus said, the poor you always have with you. Is it an indictment? Or was it a fact-telling of human inability to share, to be generous enough with each other that we could make sure everyone had a home? In any event, Fuller didn't accept that the world had to be as it was. This is just the way of the world. No, he took a great leap of faith in facing a giant-sized problem and went all in with God. And look at what happened. Now, of course, he wasn't a penniless pauper when he started. But boy, what an incredible journey from this life hell-bent on making a living that didn't make a life, to a man who was incredibly rich towards generosity to others and dream, and not necessarily rich in the way that would breed success in our day-to-day world. Seed planter, mountain mover, giant slayer? Absolutely. How about you?